Yo, 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 what is up for the next episode of Monday with Molly? Kitchen and avocado edition. As per usual, go ahead and like, share, subscribe if these videos are helping you and the people you care about. That's the whole purpose of doing them in the first place. So today's lesson came to me yesterday while I was waiting in line to early vote. And today's video is non-political lesson learned from early voting. Non-political lesson learned from early voting. Now, before I get into it, this is the third time I'm making this video. Normally I do it on the first try. I just recorded it in my car, and afterwards I was like, I feel like I left some things out. And then I just did another one before this, and I'm almost done. And there was a phone call because I forgot to have it on silent, which I almost always do. So I was like, But that leads into the first lesson anyway. So the first lesson is, are you doing whatever it takes to reach your goal? Are you doing whatever it takes to achieve the thing you're passionate about? Because I'll tell you what, it's a little context here. So this is the first time in history New York State's been able to early vote. I think we have 8 or 9 days of it. I'm assuming it's because of COVID. I really didn't pay attention to the why, but my guess would be that's why. So in the past, we've had, you can vote in person. You can early vote in person if you're going to be out of town. I've done that before when I've been out of town on election day. Or you can absentee ballot, which like my grandpa used many times when he got in his later years. So there were always options, but this time, this is new for us. And I can tell you, I have never waited in line to vote. I've never seen a line to vote. Now, I personally typically run a mile to my polling place at 6 a.m. with my headlamp on and everything. So obviously I'm not gonna have a line then. But even so, driving by polling places, you never see lines. When I was teaching in both districts, there were never lines in the gym. Like, you weren't like, oh my gosh, look at all the people outside. Like, never. And I just drove by the polling place again today. There was still a line. Not as long as yesterday, but it was a line. And people are driving by yesterday kind of like, what? Why are these people outside? There has never been a voting line. But yesterday, standing there, so an hour and 15 minutes, which I was more than happy to do. Just like a lot of people, I'm very passionate about who I'm voting for. And what I took from that, the non-political lesson, is, are you willing to do whatever it takes? What's a goal for you? What is something you're passionate about? What gets a fire in your belly that you're willing to step up your game and do whatever it takes? Even making this video, I could have been annoyed when that phone call came in and been like, I'll do it later. Whatever it takes right now, because I know as the day goes on, my energy gets less and less, and it's getting a little bit close to evening right now. Whatever it takes. I know it with my business. When I first started the idea of speaking and joining an online group and learning how to do a speech and business, I didn't know anything about business. And then doing presentations and getting home at 1 a.m. and still going into sub so I could still make money and still be able to start this new career, my third career. I was hustling. I did whatever it took to make sure I could still pay my bills while then, like before the business grew to where it is now. Thank God. Thank goodness. Same thing now. Thank goodness I've been doing these videos because right now, all of my presentations are virtual. Thank goodness I'm used to looking into a camera by myself. So the message can still land. So you do whatever it takes to achieve the thing because you have to care about it enough. And I saw that yesterday, people posting on Facebook from all over my area, all the lines and the lines and the lines. There was a World War II veteran. He was like 90 something. Someone posted, a friend of mine, he gets to the end of the line, right? World War II vet. So he's like, got his cane, frail. And some lady was like, kind of like, hey, he just got here. And everybody got out of his way so he could vote. He knew how important it was to vote for whoever he's voting for. He could have absentee balloted. He likes to vote in person. It mattered that much. And then we saw a great humanity because we have all different people voting for whoever they're voting for, all came together in that moment like, yes, of course we let a World War II veteran go. So it was a great chance for humanity to show up. That's a lesson. Whatever it takes. Second lesson I learned, and second and final lesson, is, are you being resourceful in this moment? We're 7+ months into COVID. life is certainly not back to whether it's whatever your normal was or what it's going to be. It's not yet. Let's be honest. But and some things have been taken away, but some things have been added. Are you taking advantage of the resources now available that were not available or certainly not as widely available prior to March 13th? Like, I look at the voting. We had those options already shared. In person on the day, in person absentee, if you're going to be out of town, absentee ballot in the mail. Now we have in person 8 or 9 days. This is brand new. People are taking advantage of it so they don't get blocked out on election day. Or maybe they don't want to put it in the mail, or it's going to take too long, or whatever. They're being resourceful, and they came out in droves. So for you, with the way our lives are right now, are you being resourceful with what is available to you, the tools that are available to you? Yeah, some things got taken away, but my goodness, certainly with Zoom, with all the social media, with different things your teachers, your schools, your company are trying to do. I mean, I look at a lot of entrepreneurs too who are selling services online or products online, how they're pivoting to make it work, how restaurants have pivoted to make it work when they were shut down. They're being resourceful. They're figuring it out. So when you look at what's available to you now, not the way you wish it was, but now in the current moment, are you diving in? Are you trying to figure things out? Or instead of doing things the way you always did and maybe you were stuck, where you're like, well, this is how I've always done it. Which, by the way, that sentence, this is how I've always done it, is like the killer of creativity, the killer of growth, the killer of progress. Even if the way you've always done it is getting you results, can you add to it? Is there something better? Is there a slight shift or a slight tweak you can make? Probably. I'm not saying you have to throw it out. But if you're always doing things the way you always have and you're not getting the results you want, when would now be a good time to change that? Because we have to look at different ways that we're doing things. We're 7+ months in. We should know this by now, but sometimes we're not. Because we're getting frustrated on what it was or why it's not or how we can't. Man, you got to flip your 20 and see what's available. Is there something you want to achieve and someone else has done it, someone in your life or someone maybe that you know that you can reach out and say, hey, I'm having a similar problem. I'm trying to achieve the thing or do the thing or figure this out. Can you help me? Because I see that you've already done it. That's being resourceful. Maybe in the past you would never have done it because maybe you were too shy or I don't know if I should. I'll just do it. Now is the opportunity. Man. This is like new rules. Still, we're in new rule territory. So maybe we have to get out of the box that we've been in before because we only had what we knew prior to March 13th. Like that was just it. And that just got demolished. So now we have another way to see things, our perspective, our vision of like, oh, maybe this. Because why not? Why not? Like restaurants never thought they'd have to do what they had to do. Schools never, for the first time in history, schools went fully remote. In the history of the world, that's the first time. But it happened, not perfectly, but they got to figure out enough. And still they're in the process of doing it. And they're better now than they were in the spring. That's what happens when you're resourceful and you're willing to grow. So where in your life are you willing to be resourceful, to figure it out? I'm doing it here. Like, I'm so grateful that I started doing these Monday with Molly and Flip Your 20 Friday videos at the beginning of January. Because now my business, as of right now, is all online. So I'm doing keynotes and presentations just like this. Upstairs in my office, but just like this by myself staring into this camera. But because I've done the videos, I now have that as a new resource to feel super comfortable online and to do this, to make videos. I don't feel weird about it. That's a great gift because I was willing to do something that I wanted, and now it's very beneficial now. It's kind of that basic. So I challenge you. Find the things that light a fire in your belly and you do whatever it takes. And second, look at all the resources available to you now. Some will be the same, some will be different. But when you take advantage of them, then you have an opportunity for growth and for progress. And always remember, forward is a pace. Hope this helps you and the people you care about. I will see you at the end of the week for the next Flipper 20 Friday. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Peace.